Hello, hi, salam alaikum. I'm here to do this exercise for the students. So uh, we are going to do exercise 4 in this video. The next video is going to be for exercise 5. So you don't need to miss these things because we are going to explain them in easy way you can understand. You are being told to simplify all these numbers from number 1 to number 10. You are simplifying them. So simplification. Okay. Now let us start with the number 1. That is simplifying negative 4i. All this one under cube. So how do you solve this number? You know, this cube here is for everything here inside in the in the bracket. So when you are working this one out, so you have to acknowledge that this cube is for everything here. Okay, let's do it now. This one is the same as negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4 times what? All this one, okay, times I cube. Are you seeing? That is it. Okay, now since it is very clear, you are multiplying negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. This one all will give you negative 64. It will give you negative 64 I cube, negative 64 I cube. So how do you simplify I cube? I cube alone is the same as I square times I. So for this one here, you replace I square with a negative 1. Negative 1 times I, it will give you negative I. That means this one here is going to be negative 64 times I cube here is equal to negative I. So it is negative 64 times negative I. So negative and negative here will give you positive. Negative and negative will give you positive. So it is going to be 64i. This is going to be the answer. Answer is equal to 64i. 64i when you simplify it. So this cube means that you are multiplying negative 4 by itself 3 times. And you will get negative 64. Then for I cube, you will say I cube is equal to I square times I. So following the rule of indices, you know two numbers being multiplied together but they have the same base, so you add their powers. So here you are going to get negative I because you are going to replace I square with a negative 1. Then negative 1 times I, it will give you negative I here. And then you will take this negative I and multiply it times 64. And you will get the final result as 64i. So that is for number 1. So let us come to number 2. Number 2 here is saying I times 2i times negative 7i. So what do you do for this? I times 2i times negative 7i. So for these complex numbers being multiplied together, we are only multiplying the real parts. The imaginary parts. Real parts there are 0, so they are not there. So let us start with this one here. I times 2i. I times 2i will give you 2i square. You see, it will give you 2i square times negative 7i times negative 7i. So when you replace I square here with a negative 1, because I squared is equal to negative 1, you will have negative 2 here, because This one is going to be negative 1. Negative 1 times 2, it is negative 2. Then we multiply this negative 2, which is this one outside here, times this bracket, negative 7i. So when we have this, it is easy to solve. Negative times negative will give you positive. 2 times 7 is 14. 2 times 7 is equal to 14. 14i. So this is the final answer. So just multiply this bracket, these two brackets first, then you will have 2i squared. Where there is I squared, substitute negative 1. So then you multiply negative 1 times the coefficient, and then you will get this one here. Then after simplifying this part, then you have to multiply the result by this part here. See? So that is it. Okay, let us go to number 3. Number 3 here we have 3i times negative 2 plus 6i. So you are multiplying this complex number by this complex number. This complex number, real part there is 0. Okay, just multiply this one times all the terms inside here. Now you will multiply 3i times negative 2. 3i times negative 2. That negative will come outside. Then 2 times 3 is going to be 6i. Negative 6i. Then multiply this one times positive 6i. 3 times 6 is going to be 18. I times I is I square. So you have negative 6i plus 18i square. But we already know about I square. I square is equal to negative 1. So replace it with the negative 1. Then multiply this negative 1 times 18. Here you will have negative 6i plus 18 times negative 1. So this is going to be negative 18. So the final solution, or the final answer, you first write the real part first. We will have negative 18. Negative 18 minus 6i. Negative 18 minus 6i. This is going to be our solution for number 3. For number 3. Just follow the step. Multiply this complex number by all these terms inside in the other complex number. Okay, let's come to number 4. Negative 2i, all this one raised to power cube. Okay, what did we say before? This cube is for all this one here inside in the bracket, for coefficient and I itself. So this is the same as what? It is the same as negative 2. It is the same as negative 2 raised to power 3. It is the same as negative 2 raised to power 3 times I raised to power 3 times I raised to power 3. So here you are going to multiply 2 by itself 3 times. And since this one is raised to power odd number, it is going to remain as negative. You will have negative 2 raised to power 3 is 8. You will have negative 8 here, because 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. You will have negative 8. Then for I cube is equal to I square times I square times I. We will give us negative I. So you multiply negative 8 times negative I like this. So here you will have answer as positive 8, because negative and negative will give you positive. 8 times I, it will be 8. This is the final result. Answer is equal to 8 for number 4. Answer is 8 for number 4. Okay, let us go to number 5. Let's solve number 5. 6i times negative 4i. 6i times negative 4i. Here, multiply these coefficients, negative and positive of 6 here is going to give you negative. So here you will have negative 6 times 4 is 20 what? 24. So negative 24. Then I times I will give you I square. I square. But you know I square is negative 1. So you are going to multiply negative 24 by negative 1. 24 times negative 1, which is going to be positive what? Positive 24. This is going to be your answer here. Replace I square with negative 1 and then multiply it times 24. Even if you don't even do this process here or this step, you just know that since there is square here, this is going to be positive. It will change the sign to be positive. If the sign is negative, it is going to be positive. If it is positive, it is going to be negative. Okay, let us go to number 6. Here we have negative 8 raised to power negative 8i raised to power 2. You see, this is a square. So this is the same as negative 8 raised to power 2 times I square. You see, you just separate the 2 here as you are multiplying them. Therefore here, since this one is raised for even number, the sign here is going to be positive. The sign is going to be positive. So it is going to be negative 8 times negative 8, which is going to be positive 64. Positive 64. Then I square here is the same as negative 1. That means we are going to multiply 64 times negative 1. The final answer is negative 64. Negative 64. This is our final answer. Answer is negative 64 for number 6. Okay, let us solve number 7. Number 7, where we have negative 5. Okay, we'll just see here. We will take the first term there, 5, and multiply it times the second complex number there. We will say 5 times negative 8 plus 5i plus 5i. Then we take negative 3 and multiply times the other one there. Negative 3i times negative 8 plus 5i. 5i. Okay, now since we have done so, we have to now multiply these numbers outside the bracket with those terms that are inside in the bracket. So 5 times negative 8, this is going to give you negative 40. We'll have negative 40 here. 5 times 5i is going to be plus 25i. 25i plus 25i. Okay, now we are done with this. Let us come to this second one. Negative 3i times negative 8, you will get positive. Negative and negative will give you positive. 3 times 8 is 24. You will have 24. You will have 24i here. Okay, negative 3i times positive 5i. Negative and positive will give you negative. 3 times 5 is 15. I times I is I square. So now when you are in this step, so where there is I square there, just know you have to substitute it with negative 1 and multiply negative 1 times the coefficient. The coefficient is negative 15 for this one here. That means it is going to be negative 15 times negative 1, which is going to give you positive 15. Now let us collect like term. Because this one will be real, we have to add it to this one. So we'll have negative 40 plus negative 40 plus 15 then plus 25i plus 24i. Here now we have to subtract these two. We have negative 40 plus 15. This one will give you negative 25. Then add these two imaginary parts. 25i plus 24i, you are going to get 49 plus 49i. So this is going to be your last solution for number 8. Negative 25 plus 49i. Okay, let's solve number 9. Number 9 is just similar with this number 8, but okay, let us multiply this first term of the first complex number, which is 5 there. 5 times the second complex number, this one here, negative 3 minus 7i. Then we take the second term with the sign 5i times negative 3 minus 7i. Now we have to multiply those one outside with the terms inside in the bracket. 5 times negative 3, it will give you negative 15 here, negative 15. 5 times negative 7, you're going to get negative 35i. Negative 35i. Come to this one. 5i times negative 3, you are going to get negative 15. Negative 15i. Negative 15i. 5i times negative 7i, you will have negative 35i square. I square. Now replace I square with the negative 1. Negative 1 times negative 35, you will later have positive 35. So now collect like terms. Negative 15 plus 35 then minus 35i minus 15i. These two here are imaginary numbers. Okay, negative 15 plus 35 will give you 20. This one here will give you 20. What about the imaginary part? Negative 35 minus 15 will give you negative 50 here. You will have negative 50i. So this is the final result, which is 20 minus 50i. So this is the solution for number 9. 20 minus 50i. Okay, let's solve number 10. Let's solve number 10, which is the last one for exercise 4. For number 10 here, we'll take the first term, which is negative 7 times the second complex number, negative 6 minus 6i. Then we take the second term with the negative sign, negative 4i times negative 6 minus 6i. Alright, here we have to open the brackets for the two complex numbers. 7 negative 7 times negative 6 you will have positive 42. You will have positive 42. And for this one here, you will have positive 42i, because there is I there. Then come to this one here, negative 4i times negative 6. You will have positive 24. 24i. You will have positive 24i. Then negative 4i times negative 6i will give you positive 24i square. Positive 24i square. Hence, you have to replace I square with the negative 1 and multiply it times positive 24, which will later give you negative 24. Collect like terms here. So 42 minus 24 plus imaginary parts here, plus 42i plus 24i. Here you have to subtract 42 with 24, which will give you 18. You'll have 18 here. Then 42 plus 24 on the other side of imaginary here, you will have positive 66i. Positive 66i. That is it. That is the answer here. 18 plus 66i. Okay, that is all for exercise 4. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we are going to give you exercise 5 too. Please, as you are watching, share it and make sure you subscribe. See you next time again. God bless you. God bless South Sudan. South Sudan education first.